Well, you could call it a 1-2 punch of politics turning personal. First, Philadelphia City Commissioner Lisa Deeley fending off threats of violence as she helped steer Philadelphia through its politically charged ballot count. Deeley's office was targeted with death threats, according to Republican City Commissioner Al Schmidt. Deeley and the third member of the team, Omar Sabir, are Democrats. The three have vigorously pushed back against unfounded allegations of voter fraud in the city. And now Deeley is dealing with round 2 of attacks after she posted a very personal revelation on social media last week. Deeley wrote a couple of years ago, after a lifelong struggle with weight, body image, I had weight loss surgery, lost almost 100 pounds, went from a size 22 to an 8. According to the Perfect Bodies on Twitter, I still have a ways to go. Not going to let them keep me down. Reaction to the tweet came quickly, much of it supportive. But some posted ugly personal attacks and body-shaming comments, at least one too vulgar to be seen or said on TV. The chairperson of the Philadelphia City Commissioner's office, Lisa Deeley, joins me now. Lisa, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, wow, it's been a couple of busy weeks for you. We all kind of knew Pennsylvania and Philadelphia would play a significant role in the elections. But did you have any idea that really all the eyes of the entire country intensely would be focused on you and your fellow commissioners?
I could have never, ever contemplated we would be faced with what we have been faced with in the last several weeks.
Yeah, I mean, death threats to your office. Do you feel safe now, and do all of you have some sort of security?
We're all doing okay. You know, it's a shame that happened, and you know, I don't really like to concentrate on the hate. I like to concentrate more on the work and the foundation of it. You know, there's a lot of people here that are making this work and work well, and we just hope that, you know, the rhetoric gets toned down, and we can just continue to function in our space, which is in service of all Philadelphians.
Help us understand what it was like for you and the other commissioners when that count was happening. I mean, what were you going through? What were you feeling?
We were just I mean, for myself personally, it was just keep going, like, don't stop. We already had planned that once we started counting, we weren't going to stop. We were going to go 24 hours. We had said that all along, but you know, we were not listening to what was going on outside. We were concentrating more on what was going on inside. And we learned in June that it took a really long time to count a lot of paper ballots. And certainly when you have, you know, over 300,000 of them, it's going to take even that much longer. We were fortunate to get the machinery. We got a lot of people here, and it was just a matter of coordinating that effort to get every envelope opened and every legitimate and properly cast ballot counted. And it was a nonstop effort. And it really, that was our goal all along. And we were just operating on all cylinders, making sure we could get it done.
Yeah, nonstop effort, very little sleep. And I know you don't want to focus on the negative, but you had some negative outside too. So what made you decide that, geez, now is the time to open up publicly about your weight loss surgery?
Well, I saw these horrendous tweets, you know, and it really, for me, Tracy, it wasn't about me. I mean, I'm, you know, in my mid-50s. I've ran for citywide public office twice. So I feel pretty good about myself. But for me, it was more about the young people that may be reading those tweets or reading about me or thinking that they might want to one day be in elected office or sing on a stage or even do what you're doing, quite frankly. And people shouldn't, especially women, I mean, it's been like commonplace and acceptable for body image to play such a factor in women's lives. And it's really unfair. I mean, I just did it for the young people, for people that are reading it. And not just for people that may be too heavy, but there's young girls that are too thin. And whatever the case, girls are getting criticized for too heavy, too thin. It really shouldn't matter. And it's unfortunate that we live in a society where still today, for as much as we're accomplishing as women, it still oftentimes comes down to what we look like.
It's true. And did you think, well, we've come a long way, and I want to inspire other young women in this case that that's not a factor. So were you prepared for the reaction from people? Did you still think, oh, there's still going to be a few body shamers out there?
There's a double standard for women, especially in the workplace. You could work with, a couple guys and they rotate the same 3 suits, or they wear a sports coat with a pair of jeans. And for us, God forbid somebody sees us in the same thing twice. It's like, oh, God, he has that dress on again. Why do you have to get your hair blown out? Why do you have to, always have to have makeup on? Of course we want to look good, obviously, but we shouldn't be judged, especially so harshly. But a woman's appearance has a long history, of being widely accepted as a measurement.
And the attacks are sometimes just brutal on social media. And I think part of it is because people get to say things behind the computer screen or behind their phone. But what if you saw somebody who said something offensive? What would you say to them if they were face to face with you?
I would just say that, really it's a sad state of affairs that you're worried about what I look like. But you should really consider that, and especially if you know any young girls, because you're having an impact on them and their ability to rise and to shine. We want all young girls to have confidence and to not worry so much about their appearance, and to not worry about being unfairly judged or criticized just based on their appearance. Beauty comes in all sizes and all shapes. And more than that, people should just be judged on their ability and how they treat others. And really, people that are shaming people on social media are not treating others well.
Right. Absolutely. So tell me, as you're trying to inspire young women, like that shouldn't be a factor. And here's what I did. And I'm guessing you would say I did it for me. I didn't do it for anybody else. But going through that surgery is no walk in the park. That's a big deal. Can you talk about that and talk about your decision to have the surgery?
Yeah, so it is, and it is a big deal. What it came down to for me was just living a healthier lifestyle. I had dieted my entire life. I was heavy since I was a child, so I could diet and I could lose weight just like the best of them. 30 pounds at Weight Watchers, 50 pounds at Nutrisystem. Do it all and succeed. The issue for me was that I couldn't live that lifestyle, because then I would eventually stop dieting, but this for me was the right option. It isn't right for everybody, but what it basically does is it maintains you on a diet forever. So now, my food choices are much more healthier, and my portion size is much more reasonable. And I'm able to maintain and live a healthier lifestyle, and for me, it was the right decision. It's not the right decision for everyone, but a healthier lifestyle and a commitment to a healthy lifestyle should be a priority for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I think that many would see, let's focus on the positive. Many would see your revelation as very brave, and that you're helping a lot of people. I'm sure that you heard positive feedback, especially from people who are struggling with body image. What did you hear?
We've gotten a lot of positive image, a positive reaction, and so many people didn't know. It isn't like I hid it, but a lot of folks didn't know. So them finding out, and people are really respecting my coming out about it, and putting it out there. And like I said, the only reason, there's a lot of stuff on Facebook that is just ridiculous about this whole process, about the election, about me, about my colleagues. That's part of politics. It's part of people's process of, whether they're happy or unhappy with the result. But for somebody to come at you personally, it really affected me, and it really had it. For me, when I look at young people, especially young people today, they have so many challenges. We're creating an environment where, based on our, this issues that are so sad that we're dealing with, we want to keep everybody safe, but we also want people to not get too tied up in depression or overly thinking about their body image.
Lisa, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.